Hello and welcome to our first video recording for this 8-week term. This term is going to go very rapidly. As you know, 8 weeks will be by in such a short time. But we're going to accomplish a lot, and I hope that when you leave, you're going to feel like, wow, I really learned a lot this semester, and I hope that you take this knowledge with you. So, this recording is not going to be as long as some of our others, but this recording is very important because I want to give you some great tips so that you can be successful these 8 weeks. And I want to go over some things that I want you to understand that are very important for you to be successful. This is the home area, and I was able to get to this area by just simply clicking on the home button. And it brought me to this screen. And in this area, this is where it tells you a lot about just the welcome, and it tells you about things that need to be done. It has your to-do list on it. It has the quizzes that are due, the date that they will be available, and if you click on them, then you will see when they are actually due. Here are a couple announcements that you can also access by just going to the announcement area. So if you get any type of email that says that announcements are showing available in the classroom, this is where you can reach them and you can see the announcement that I post for you. Of course, this is a very important link. This is for your syllabus, and in this area, you will see all of the information that is pertinent to the class. And please make sure you go over this very thoroughly. It explains every aspect of the class. It explains things that are going to be due coming up. And it also has your course schedule, which is also very important. We'll be going over shortly in just a little while. This is a module-based course, so when you want to, of course, see what's due, you're going to see that the module or the current modules that are related to this particular unit are showing. And of course, next unit, which will be in 2 weeks, that particular unit will be showing, and those 2 modules will become available. So, as you know, if you would start at the very first part, which is the welcome, then you will go to this page. At the bottom of every page is a little button that says next, and that is how you proceed throughout the whole course. So you would click your next button, and then it will show what's next, or what is the next page that comes available. And then of course you can click the next button and the next button. And this is very important because this is an area where you will post. If you have any questions at all, you will post, and then I will do my hardest to try to address your questions within 24 to 36 hours. And I usually try to check this area first when I come in to make sure that there aren't any questions that a student has related to the course, or just related to anything in particular. Of course, if you have some type of a personal question you want to ask me, you'll always feel free to email me at my scuffy@ivytech.edu. The next area is where I was telling you about, where you will be able to locate your course schedule. In this area, you will see that you will be able to see exactly what's due every single week, and you will be able to see when everything is due. It's usually the last day or the Sunday and of that particular week. So of course, everything for this particular week, which is week 1, will be due on 11/3. Everything for week 2 will be due on 11/10, etc. Except for when you come to week 5, which is a very short week, because as you see, the video recording for that particular week is only going to be on Tuesday, because after the 2 days that we have the class, which is, well, 3 days, 11/24, 11/25, 26, and I believe 11/27. Yes, 11/27. And then on 11/28 is when we will actually start fall break, which is for the holiday. And we will be gone until 12/1. So the things that you have to do on that particular week, you're going to have to put a lot of work in so that you can get those particular items turned in. But if you are one that wants to work during the holiday, or perhaps after Thanksgiving, if you don't have to do any Black Friday shopping, then you can, of course, work during that particular break, and you don't necessarily have to turn in your assignments on the 27th. You can turn them in on the 1st of December. And then, as you can see, it goes through until the very last week, which is final exam week, and that ends on Saturday. Usually all of our weeks run from a Monday to a Sunday, and on the final week, the class will run from Monday to Saturday. Okay, and then of course you click Next, which will take you to your next page, where you will be introduced to Unit 1. And in each unit runs 2 weeks, and I usually try to follow the same pattern for each week, so therefore you won't have to try to figure out like what's new or whatever. Everything usually runs the same way. Okay, this will take you to week 1, which it shows up here, which will be the 28th, which was yesterday, to the 3rd, which will be on Sunday. And of course it goes over our textbook that we have to use for this course, which is the 11th edition. And it tells you some things that you should do for the week. I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. And then, of course, it tells you about reading. And then it tells you that attendance will be taken, and I will go over that shortly as to how we take attendance. Also, you have your first quiz that's due by 11/3, and you have to make your initial post in the discussion board before 11/3, which is Sunday. You click Next, and it takes you to your quiz. And then you click Take the Quiz, and you will take your quiz. The quizzes aren't timed, nor are your midterm or final exam. They aren't timed because you have to go through each individual chapter to be able to locate the questions. This is an open book course, so of course you are allowed to use your textbook or any notes that you may have. I highly recommend that while you are taking your quizzes, that you underline and locate within your textbook the area where you found each particular answer, because more than likely, hint, hint, they will show up on your midterm, and they will also show up on your final exam. Your midterm, as we will show you later on, is related to units 1 and 2, which would be weeks 1 through 4. And it will also encompass the chapters that are related to units 1 and 2. After you take your quiz, you of course go to the next page, which is your case study, which is also a part of the things that you have to do for your discussions. As you can see, this is your discussion area. And in this area, I'm asking that you would reflect and respond to the question that I asked you. Each question is according, in this particular unit discussion, each question is related to your last, the initial of your last name. So as it says here, that if your last name begins at H or G, then of course you would answer this particular question, which is related to chapter 1, etc., etc. Then in the second week of the discussions, which would be next week, then I want you to start by posting responses to your classmates. And in your responses, please do not add just a simply good post, or I liked your post, or I agree with your post. Do stuff like something that is detailed and substantial. Something that's going to help your classmates be able to have more critical thought about what it is that they posted. I would recommend that you post to someone that's not necessarily have the same last initial or answer the same question that you did. So therefore, you can also familiarize yourself with the information from chapter 2, chapter 3, etc. But you are allowed to ask questions to your classmates that posted with your last initial also. But in the process of doing that, then I want to make sure that you realize that you have to make sure that when you post to your classmates, like I said, make sure that it's an answer that is both substantial and detailed. Also, make sure that when you answer the question that I have assigned you, that you support your answer. In other words, as you are reading this question that's related to chapter 1, of course you will find the material in chapter 1. So therefore you can use the material from chapter 1 and make sure that you support it. Use in-text citations and also make sure you have a reference list at the end. Make sure that if you want to, you can put information from your video and also from your assigned reading. This week, your assigned reading is from case study number 1. So therefore, you would use information from case study number 1 to help support your answer. Go to the next page. This is your video, unit video. Of course, you would watch your video. And then, of course, you go to your next page. And you are in week 2, which is also related to unit 1. Of course, the readings will be the same because you're still in the same unit. So your readings will be chapter 1 through 3, and there's also a case study. And also you have your same video, and you also have your same everything, like I said, that's related to chapter 1, of course, from unit 1 will be the same. Your readings and your videos and your chapters that you need to read will all be the same. Then you also take quiz 2, and you also, for this particular week, you have your unit review questions. And you also have to post an additional 3 postings, which we've already discussed, that are part of the discussion board. Usually within the second week, you also have during the second week, you also have something that's called your unit review questions. And in your unit review questions, they will be posted. And you can't see them here now because of the fact that they're not open. They won't be open until the start of week 2. And your unit review questions will be related to all the reading material that you have to do, and also the video. So you will be asked a question about Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. Also, you will be asked a question related to your unit reading and also a question related to your unit video. And that has to be completed. And of course, I want you to support all of your questions and submit it. And when this particular assignment becomes available, there will be a submission area. Make sure you use a Word document that is attached. You can also attach in PDF, but please don't attach in page by using Pages. And this is also important information that you can read that's related to how you can familiarize yourself with the course, etc. Well, that's all I have for you right now today. And like I said, if you have any questions or concerns or anything else that you want me to answer or to address, I'm here for you. So make sure that you send me an email, set up an appointment, do whatever it is that we need to do so that we can help to make it successful for you. Please don't wait until you are having problems. Ask early. And I will also be in contact with you to see if there are any questions or concerns that you may have. And like I said, we can also set up a private conference or a Skype or whatever you feel comfortable with doing. Well, that's all for today, and I will see you again on Thursday, where we will begin to have detailed information about Chapter 1. I will go over some information from Chapter 1 and perhaps start Chapter 2. But next week we will definitely go over Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 in our Tuesday, Thursday video discussions. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Also, there will be a small discussion board that will be assigned to you with a question that you have to answer, so therefore you can get credit for attendance. The attendance also serves as extra credit bonus points. So if you are in attendance, you will get your extra credit bonus points. If you aren't in attendance, then you will have those points deducted. So it's easy points. So make sure you are in attendance for every Tuesday, Thursday section, and then your attendance will be taken. Thank you very much for watching this first video recording for our course, and I look forward to seeing you again on Thursday.